Hi, everybody. So today's installation of the Sergeant at Arms is about the confirmation of Neil Gorsuch as the 113th Justice of the Supreme Court. Um, I want to talk about that because it's the way they went about it was kind of interesting. So he was confirmed, and the way they did it was based on a rules change in the Senate. And the rules change was now you only have to have 51 votes, a majority, to confirm a Supreme Court justice. Before, it was 60 votes, and they made that change in 1975. And before that, it was 67, which basically breaks down to a two-thirds vote, which is 67 senators. That was before 1975. And in 1975, there was another rules change in the Senate where they said, no, we're just going to make it 3/5, which is 60 votes. So the reason that's significant is because it really it makes partisan politics just blatantly clear. In 2013, the Democrats did the same thing, but what they did was they had a change of rules which said, you know what, no more filibustering. And filibustering basically is a long series of speeches to delay or avoid taking a vote. So they got rid of the possibility of a filibuster on presidential nominees to lower courts and for government employees, but not on Supreme Court justices. Now the Republicans have decided, you know what, because they're in power, let's just get rid of that as well. And that's how they got Gorsuch nominated for that position. That's how they got him on the Supreme Court. I think what they've all learned from this is whoever the party in power is the party that's going to take advantage of that. And they're just going to take advantage in the worst way. And that's basically what they're doing. The Democrats can't complain because they did it 4 years ago. And now the Republicans are in a position where they can do it. In 4 years, who knows? The Democrats will be maybe back in a position where they can do it. But the whole point is, the filibuster was the thing that really kind of stuck out and said, this is preventing progress because the longer they drag it out, the worse it gets. The other part of this is, so there's this thing called cloture. And so cloture now is a majority. It's 51 votes. Cloture was 60 votes. And so that means they have to have at least 60 senators to vote yes. Now 51 to vote yes, which means as we stand, there's 52 Republican senators. As long as every Republican senator shows up, every single bill that goes in front of the Senate will get passed into law. The reason that Merrick Garland, who President Obama nominated, could not get a vote is because, again, you have to have 60. And so if every Democrat showed up, which is 48, that's still not enough to get to cloture. And so you have to have at least 60 people. You had to, when Merrick Garland was nominated, you had at least 60 people, 60 senators, for there to even be a vote. You can't even have a vote unless you have 60 senators. Now it's 51. So the Republicans are in a position where they can vote on anything they want now as the Senate. But the catch also is the Senate is supposed to be the more deliberate body of Congress. The House, I saw somewhere where they said the House with its hot fire runs through bills and debates back and forth and tosses it around, and that's where they make the donuts. And then they pass it along to the Senate, who really kind of gives it its due diligence and runs it through all of its paces to make sure that it makes sense, it's a good bill to turn into a law. That's what they're supposed to be. But now, that has to be questioned. That could come into question because now they just need a simple majority of 51 and Republicans have 52. So that again could change the balance of checks and balances. And this is why the Sergeant at Arms is here, because there was a concern about checks and balances, which is how our government functions rationally and impartially. Now we're in a position where there may or may not be impartiality. So we'll see what happens. Will this come up again? Sure. The next time there's a Supreme Court justice that needs to be nominated, if it's under President Donald Trump, this will happen again. And I think the Republicans were kind of banking on that. The catch is 2018 is a midterm election, and the suggestion is that the Democratic Party might take back the House, possibly the Senate. We'll see what happens with that. But some of that will be based on the performance of President Donald Trump between now and then. And who knows? It might work out, it might not. But for the moment, the Republicans are the ones who are calling the shots on this one. So let's tweet about that. Send me some tweets, SGTATARMSUSA. And I'm going to keep sending tweets to Speaker Ryan and to President Trump. And so with that, I will close this installation of the Sergeant at Arms. I will see you next time.